the news that's short, sharp and shrewd.
Are you talking about the podcast or me?
Both.
Backhanded compliment.
This is Up Late with Ben Harvey. You look like you've been at a funeral.
That's because I have been at a funeral. Father Joe Walsh, the Catholic priest affectionately known as Father Armani because of his snappy dress sense, had his final send-off today. And what a diverse crowd of mourners it turned out to be. Bikies, gangsters, hookers, millionaires, chief executives of major businesses. Some of the most respected lawyers, judges and police officers are sitting there watching Troy Mercanti help carry Father Joe's coffin.
Seems odd. How does a priest get to know bikies?
Bikies be needing pastoral care more than most. A lot of these guys actually are religious. I suspect they're more Old Testament than New Testament. Eye for an eye and all that. Not many people know this, but Troy Mercanti was a choir boy before he was a coffin cheater. Before he was a Mongol. A choir boy at St Mary's Cathedral. He got to know Joe Walsh when Joe was a priest at Troy's primary school, Our Lady of Lourdes in Nollamara, and also Trinity College, which was his high school.
In a list of old boys, he's right there in the business category.
Business, alongside other notable people such as Reserve Bank board member Mark Barnaby and former Demons Footy Club president Glenn Bartlett. Joe Walsh visited Mercanti regularly when he was in prison and has been in his ear pretty regularly since he came out. Troy even made a speech at Joe's 70th birthday party, which was held back in January. He wasn't the only heavy character at this funeral. A lot of the Mongols were there to pay their respects. Joe Walsh was kind of an unofficial club priest for them. That's a Mongol bikie called Tama. We all have preconceived notions about what a bikie is. Tama was head chef at Coco's restaurant in South Perth. He's an exceptionally talented cook and a patch member of an outlaw motorcycle gang.
Wouldn't have sent back the fish had I known. Where was the funeral?
It was at Joe's old stomping ground at St Joseph's Church in Subiaco. That's where he made his name for himself. Excellent fundraiser and businessman, managed to restore the whole place, stitched together quite a few deals to guarantee its financial security. It's pretty well known what happened next. Joe's battle to clear his name after he was accused of pinching money soured his relationship with the church. It was touched on not too subtly in a speech made by one of his nephews.
Who else spoke?
Dennis Glennon, that's Kira's father, gave an amazing speech. He talked about his first meeting with Joe. It was on the night they found his daughter's body.
Wow, 25 years ago. So he really maintained solid relationships.
Not always. There were some noticeable absences from today, Archbishop Tim Costello being one of them. He was a no-show. That was at the express wishes of Joe's family. They actually did the Archbishop a favour by owning that decision. If he'd attended, it would have been tokenistic. If he hadn't attended, it would have been a snub. So the current Archbishop wasn't there, but the former Archbishop, Barry Hickey, was. Remember Barry?
Yep.
It was a good old-school Catholic send-off. Even a dirty lapsed Protestant like me could see that. We've been talking about the colourful characters who were there. I'm not being flippant about this. It's testament to the kind of priest that Joe Walsh was. He accepted every type of sinner. All of us.
You'd have been saying a prayer sitting there surrounded by bikies.
I did say a prayer when I filled the car up on the way to the church. $1.99 a litre. The price boards at the surveys have never had a 2 in front of them. Nobody knows what's going to happen. It's like the millennium bug all over again.
Oh no, it's happening.
And it's going to stay high for a long time because the fuel cycle, where one survey raises prices and they all follow in perfect, regular uniformity, has gone from being 1 week long to 2. The government has looked into the fuel cycle, at least it says it has, and reckons they found no evidence of any collusion between the big oil companies. It just happens naturally. And when the cycle naturally went from 1 week to 2, the profits of the fuel companies naturally went up 25%. The RAC calculated that prices under the 1 week cycle generated an average profit margin of 11.5 cents a litre, but the 2 week cycle means profits of 14.4 cents a litre.
Where is the ACCC?
The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission is meant to stamp out this shit. Its website has all these neat charts explaining how the price cycle works and how the retailers all follow each other in an orderly fashion to rip us off.
It's crap.
And then the website tells us to contact the ACCC if you have information that a fuel retailer is not competing fairly. Well, Me, isn't the fact that this is happening evidence they're not competing fairly? It is the biggest institutionalised rip-off since they started selling 2 bags of ice for $9 and 3 for 10. Nobody's ever needed that third bag. Stop baiting us by making it so cheap.
If you can think of a better way to get ice, I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, you gotta say.
Beats me.
That funeral's put you in a bad mood. Filling up isn't a problem for some.
Filling up the Toyota Camry with 91 unleaded is expensive enough. Imagine filling up your Bombardier jet. Welcome to the very first world problems facing this guy. That's the magnificently named Lawrence Escalante, Boomtown's newest and flashiest billionaire. This one-time financial planner got sick of managing other people's money and decided to make some of his own. And didn't he just? His company is called Virtual Gaming Worlds. Casino games, slots, poker, blackjack. You pay real money for gold tokens that you use to play, and you can win sweepstakes prizes that you can then redeem for cash. And the profits are anything but virtual. When he was starting out, he said, "I'm not out to make a lot of money and rip people off. We can make a little bit of money from a lot of people." Lots and lots and lots of people, it turns out. VGW's accounts show it made $72 million in 2020 and a year later made $294 million. The Australian's rich list puts his wealth at $2.15 billion. He's only 40. Asshole.
I'd never heard of him.
This guy does wealth the way I would. Every day is like a scene from Entourage. Fast cars, that's the family lining up for a COVID test. $7 million mega apartment in South Perth. He's currently quarantining in a giant resort-style mansion out near 2J for around $2,000 a night. And, of course, the jet, a Bombardier Global 7500 worth $120 million. About 10 years ago, he was basically crowdfunding to get his business off the ground. And that wasn't long after he finished up his first job, earning $5.65 an hour at HJ's.
Would you like an apple pie with that? Would you like an apple pie with that?
Unbelievable. There's hope for all of us, and McGowan's throwing the money around today too.
37 new locally acquired COVID cases will do that to a premier. That's the highest number we've had in a day since the whole pandemic began. I think McGowan's trying to distract us from the ugly reality of our new life with COVID with shiny new things like dollars. $77 million is his plan to help businesses buggered by the Feb 5 border backflip. Almost half of it is going to the tourism industry, which has been stuffed around with all the cancellations.
Tear down this wall.
The rest is for the events industry, and there's a bit for aviation, $3 million to attract more flights to Perth.
One small problem.
We still don't know when we're going to reopen.
Hurry up!
If you'd like to watch Up Late with me, Ben Harvey, search for The West Australian on YouTube.